Welcome to Bible in a Year with Scott Purcell. I'm so glad you're joining me. This is a daily reading of portions of the Bible, following a plan that will include the entire Bible in a year. And now, let's open the book and begin our readings. This is the reading for day 104. If your reading is aligned with the calendar year in a non-leap year, this is for April 14th, or in a leap year for April 13th. The Old Testament reading is from Deuteronomy 21 and Deuteronomy 22. Deuteronomy 21. If someone slain is found in the land that Yahweh your God is giving to you to take possession of it, and is lying in the field, and it is not known who killed him, then your elders and your judges shall go out and measure the distance to the cities that are around the slain one. And then the nearest city to the slain one, the elders of that city shall take a heifer of the herd that has not been worked with in the field, that has not pulled a yoke, and the elders of that city shall bring the heifer down to a wadi that flows with water all year, and that has not been plowed and has not been sown. Then there they shall break the neck of the heifer in the wadi. Then the priests, the descendants of Levi, shall come near, for Yahweh your God has chosen them to bless in the name of Yahweh, and every legal dispute and every case of assault will be subject to their ruling. And all of the elders of that city nearest to the slain person shall wash their hands over the heifer with the broken neck in the wadi, and they shall declare, and they shall say, Our hands did not shed this blood, and our eyes did not see what was done. Forgive your people, Israel, whom you redeemed, Yahweh, and do not allow the guilt of innocent blood in the midst of your people Israel, and let them be forgiven with regard to blood. And so you shall purge the innocent blood from your midst, because you must do the right thing in the eyes of Yahweh. When you go out for battle against your enemies, and Yahweh your God gives them into your hand, and you lead the captives away, and you see among the captives a woman beautiful in appearance, and you become attached to her, and you want to take her as a wife, then you shall bring her into your household, and she shall shave her head, and she shall trim her nails, and she shall remove the clothing of her captivity from her, and she shall remain in your house, and she shall mourn her father and her mother a full month. And after this you may have sex with her, and you may marry her, and she may become your wife. And then, if you do not take delight in her, then you shall let her go to do whatever she wants, but you shall not treat her as a slave, since you have dishonored her. If a man has two wives, and the one is loved and the other one is disliked, and the one loved and the one that is disliked have borne for him sons, if it happens that the firstborn son belongs to the one that is disliked, nevertheless it will be the case that on the day of bestowing his inheritance upon his sons, he will not be allowed to treat as the firstborn son the son of the beloved wife, in preference to the son of the disliked wife, who is the firstborn son. But he shall acknowledge the firstborn son of the disliked wife by giving him a double portion of all that he has, for he is the firstfruits of his vigor. To him is the legal claim of the birthright. If a man has a stubborn and rebellious son, who does not listen to the voice of his father and to the voice of his mother, and they discipline him, and he does not obey them, then his father and his mother shall take hold of him, and they shall bring him out to the elders of his city and to the gate of his town, and they shall say to the elders of his city, This our son is stubborn and rebellious. He does not obey us, and he is a glutton and a drunkard. Then all the men of his city shall stone him with stones and let him die. And so you shall purge the evil from your midst, and all of Israel will hear, and they will fear. And if a man commits a sin punishable by death, and so he is put to death, and you hang him on a tree, his dead body shall not hang on the tree, but certainly you shall bury him on that day. For cursed by God is one that is being hung. So you shall not defile your land that Yahweh your God is giving to you as an inheritance. Deuteronomy 22. You shall not watch the ox of your neighbor, or his sheep, or goat, straying, and ignore them. Certainly you shall return them to your neighbor. And if your countryman is not near you, or you do not know who he is, then you shall bring it to your household, and it shall be with you until your countryman seeks after it, and you shall return it to him. And thus also you shall do regarding his donkey. And thus you shall do concerning his garment. And so you shall do with respect to all of the lost property of your countryman that is lost from him, and you find it. You are not allowed to withhold help. You shall not see the donkey of your neighbor or his ox fallen on the road, and you ignore them. Certainly you must help them get up along with him. The apparel of a man shall not be put on a woman, and a man shall not wear the clothing of a woman, because everyone who does these things is detestable to Yahweh your God. If a bird's nest is found before you on the road, in any tree or on the ground, and there are chicks or eggs, and the mother is lying down on the chicks or the eggs, you shall not take the mother along with the young. You shall certainly let the mother go, but you may take the young for yourselves. Do this so that it may go well for you, and you may live long in the land. When you build a new house, then you shall make a parapet wall for your roof, so that you will not bring blood guilt on your house if anyone should fall from it. You shall not sow your vineyard with differing kinds of seed, so that you shall not forfeit the whole harvest, both the seed that you sowed and the yield of the vineyard. You shall not plow with an ox and with a donkey yoked together. You shall not wear woven material made of wool and linen mixed together. You shall make tassels for yourselves on the four corners of your clothing with which you cover yourself. If a man takes a woman and he has sex with her, but he then dislikes her and he accuses her falsely, and he defames her, and he says, "This woman I took, and I lay with her, and I discovered that she was not a virgin," then in defense the father of the young woman shall take, along with her mother, and together they must bring out the evidence of the virginity of the young woman to display it to the elders of the city at the city gate. And then the father of the young woman shall say to the elders, "I gave my daughter to this man as wife, but he now dislikes her. And now look, he has accused her falsely, saying, 'I did not find your daughter a virgin.' But here is evidence of the virginity of my daughter," and they shall spread the cloth out before the elders of the city. Then the elders of that city shall take the man, and they shall discipline him. Then they shall fine him 100 shekels of silver, and they shall give them to the father of the young woman, for he defamed an Israelite young woman, and she shall become his wife. He will not be allowed to divorce her all his days. But if this charge was true, and the signs of virginity were not found for the young woman, and then they shall bring out the young woman to the doorway of the house of her father, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones, and she shall die, because she did a disgraceful thing in Israel by playing the harlot in the house of her father. And so you shall purge the evil from your midst. If a man is found lying with a married woman, then they shall both die, both of them, the man who lay with the woman, and the woman also. So you shall purge the evil from Israel. If it happens that a young woman, a virgin, is engaged to a man, and a man finds her in the town and lies with her, then you shall bring out both of them to the gate of the city, and you shall stone them with stones, so that they shall die, the young woman because she did not cry out in the town, and the man because he violated his neighbor's wife. And so you shall purge the evil from your midst. But if the man finds the young engaged woman in the field, and the man overpowers her, and he has sex with her, then the man only must die who lay with her. But you shall not do anything to the young woman, for there is not reckoned against the young woman a sin deserving death. It is similar to when a man rises up against his neighbor and murders him, a fellow human being. Just so is this case. For he found her in the field, the engaged young woman cried out, but there was no rescuer to help her. If a man finds a young woman, a virgin who is not engaged, and he seizes her, and he has sex with her, and they are caught, then the man who lay with her shall give to the father of the young woman 50 shekels of silver, and she shall become his wife, because he violated her, and he is not allowed to divorce her during his lifetime. A man may not take the wife of his father, and so he may not dishonor his father. The New Testament reading is from Luke 16, verses 1 through 18. Luke 16. And he also said to the disciples, a certain man was rich, who had a manager, and charges were brought to him that this person was squandering his possessions. And he summoned him and said to him, What is this I hear about you? Give the account of your management, because you can no longer manage. And the manager said to himself, What shall I do? Because my master is taking away the management from me. I am not strong enough to dig. I am ashamed to beg. I know what I should do, so that when I am removed from the management, they will welcome me into their homes. And he summoned each of his own master's debtors, and said to the first, How much do you owe my master? And he said, 100 measures of olive oil. So he said to him, Take your promissory note, and sit down quickly, and write 50. Then he said to another, And how much do you owe? And he said, 100 measures of wheat. He said to him, Take your promissory note, and write 80. And the master praised the dishonest manager, because he had acted shrewdly. For the sons of this age are shrewder than the sons of light with regard to their own generation. And I tell you, make friends for yourselves by means of unrighteous wealth, so that when it runs out, they will welcome you into the eternal dwellings. The one who is faithful in very little is also faithful in much. And the one who is dishonest in very little is also dishonest in much. If then you have not been faithful with unrighteous wealth, who will entrust to you the true riches? And if you have not been faithful with what belongs to another, who will give you your own? No domestic slave is able to serve 2 masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to one and will despise the other. You are not able to serve God and money. Now the Pharisees, who were lovers of money, heard all these things, and they ridiculed him. And he said to them, You are the ones who justify themselves in the sight of men, but God knows your hearts. For what is considered exalted among men is an abomination in the sight of God. The law and the prophets were until John. From that time on, the kingdom of God has been proclaimed, and everyone is urgently pressed into it. But it is easier for heaven and earth to pass away than for one stroke of a letter of the law to become invalid. Everyone who divorces his wife and marries another commits adultery, and the one who marries a woman divorced from her husband commits adultery. The wisdom literature reading is from Proverbs 9, verse 13 through 18. Proverbs 9:13. A woman of foolishness is loud, simple, and does not know it. She sits at the door of her house, upon a throne at the high places of town, in order to call those who pass by the road, those who go straight on their way. Whoever is simple, may he turn here. As for he who lacks sense, she says to him, stolen waters are sweet, and bread of secrecy is pleasant. But he does not know that the dead are there. In the depths of Sheol are her guests. This concludes the reading for day 104. Thank you for listening. These daily readings are made possible by your generous support of the Global Outreach Ministry of Scott Purcell. To partner with us and enable this work and others like it, please visit huttobible.com/give and select Go Pastor Support from the fund list. You can also sign up for ministry updates at scott-purcell.epistle.org/subscribe. Both of those links can be found in the podcast description. Thank you for helping us share God's Word.